we'll start by weighing out our ingredients. So you're going to need 4 grams of beeswax, 5 grams of coconut oil, 3 grams of cocoa butter, and 8 grams of almond or safflower oil. And so we'll pop these into our heat-resistant glass measuring cup. And so now our measuring cup is going to go into this small saucepan that's got about an inch or sort of 3 centimeters of water in it. And I'll go put this on the stove over sort of medium-low heat for about 20 minutes until everything has melted through. "20 minutes later, we've got ourselves a lovely little cup of melted oils and butters and beeswax. So we'll just pull this out and set the water bath aside. We're done with that. And dry off our measuring cup. So we'll have to let this cool a bit before we can do too much with it, but right now we can take a look at our last two ingredients. So we have 4 grams of cornstarch, and you could also use arrowroot starch or wheat starch or rice starch, sort of whatever kind of just innocuous white kitchen starch you have on hand. And 6 grams of baking soda. And so the baking soda is our active ingredient, and it's what makes this deodorant and not just body butter. Okay, we're going to stir these in now. Do that. And once we get these in here, this is going to cool down and thicken up pretty quickly. So make sure you use your spatula, really sort of smoosh it against the bottom of your measuring cup to break up any clumps of baking soda. The baking soda will not dissolve. It is water soluble, and this is 100% oil, so it's not going to dissolve, but the particles are pretty small, so you don't generally feel them. It won't be silky smooth, but it's not going to be like rubbing sandpaper in your underarms. And then the cornstarch. If you are going to add any essential oils, now would be a great time to add them. You're going to want to stir this fairly consistently until it thickens up enough to move to your container. You can leave it alone a little bit right at the beginning. If you leave it for too long, you'll find out that it'll set up completely in your measuring cup, and then you'll have a difficult time getting it into your container. We're looking to get a viscosity that's thick enough to keep the baking soda and the cornstarch in suspension before we transfer it over. We can see this is starting to get a little bit thicker, and when we leave it, the baking soda and stuff does still settle out, so we definitely still need to keep giving this a stir before it moves into its new home. I've got yet another half-cup mason jar here that this will eventually go into. If you happen to have an old deodorant container that you can refill, you can absolutely use that. You'll need to make sure that it's one that has a solid bottom. A lot of them they don't have a bottom to them, they just have sort of this stick, and then there's sort of nothing to stop the deodorant from just seeping out the bottom of the tube. So you can buy deodorant tubes that are meant to be sort of self-filled, and those ones will definitely work. Shop-bought ones can be a bit hit or miss. So now that we're at the stage where it'll sort of just hold whatever shape it takes, like a little tiny deodorant poo, we're ready to just move this into our container. And we can pop in the fridge to help it set up faster and further prevent the baking soda and starch from having a chance to settle out. We give this a good wrap to help everything settle down. And give these little side bits a little shove. Just try to tap off that excess so we don't just do what we did again. There we go, that works. All right, and into the fridge this goes. So 20 minutes later, it's all chilled up and set, and there you go. You just made deodorant. You can see it's nice and creamy now, but it will thicken up a bit more over the next 24 hours. So thanks so much for watching and taking part in my DIY for Beginners series. I hope you learned a lot and you're feeling really confident and ready to dive into all kinds of DIY body recipes. I've got hundreds of them on my blog, humblebeeandme.com, and if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to post a comment and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks so much and have a great day.